Welcome, beautiful, to the Creating Change podcast with Emma Bradford. Creating change to fall back in love with ourselves and life. Each episode, I'll be offering insightful stories, concepts, and practical takeaways to inspire your day, reconnecting to the authentic essence within. Are you ready, lovely, to embrace yourself even more and awaken to the magic life has to offer? Let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome to another episode of Creating Change with Emma Bradford. Thank you for joining me for today's episode as we dive into a few of the lessons, a few of the insights that I've gained along the way of this 10-year coaching journey. It's been quite a journey and I've learned so much, way more than I can fit into a bite-sized episode, let alone a whole masterclass or even a training. There's literally been so many things that I've learned about myself, about others, about the world, about the profession, about clients, how to coach, like the list goes on and on and on. Though I thought I'd share a couple of interesting insights, some that sometimes can get a little bit overlooked. So people who go into the coaching world and they have this desire to be a coach, sometimes there can be a tendency to forget about some of these aspects. And I find these things pretty interesting. And if we pay attention to these, we can uncover even more layers about ourselves and grow and evolve even more as a person and as a coach if we pay attention to this. I've learned pretty early on that we're not here to please everyone. So people pleasing is not the way to be the most effective coach. And being a people pleaser for most of my life, this was quite a hard thing to overcome. And not everyone will resonate with you. Not everyone will like your style of how you go about things, how you coach, how you work with them. Like, this is a thing, finding a therapist, finding a coach, finding a mentor. There are so many different people out there and different things that people are looking to work on. And we're not meant to work with everyone. We can work with the people that resonate with us and how we work, though not everyone will resonate with our work. And that's totally okay. That's absolutely fine. It's not our job to please others. Now, obviously, when we're working with clients, we want to do the best for them and support them in the best possible way and have happy clients, though that also needs to be in alignment. So being authentic and real as you coach, and the right people will come along. Now, one thing that is often overlooked is that when you're in the role of a coach, or especially in the role of a teacher or a trainer, that it's very easy for clients and students to unconsciously project their parental wounds onto you. So whoever's in the position of authority or perceived authority, it's very easy for the other people on an unconscious level to project their parental wounds onto that person. Now, this is not something that people do consciously. This just happens unconsciously, and it might not come out in such a big way with everyone, though it can happen. And I have had this happen before also. It's something to be mindful of if you're in the teaching role or coaching role, or being a trainer. Is just being mindful of how your students perceive you. And I've always encouraged my students not to put myself up on a pedestal. I'm not someone to be considered as the most perfect person on the planet. I'm human like everyone else. And it's really important that students don't do that, because the slightest thing that you may do wrong in their eyes, or the slightest thing that they don't like, then that can cause an upset. So it's really important just to be mindful as the teacher, like how, or the coach, how other people are perceiving you, not to please them, but just being mindful of their behaviors, their actions, their words. Sometimes it's not anything really to do with you. It's just whatever they're projecting onto you, and anything that's to do with their own parental wounds. So that's something just to be mindful of. And it goes both ways. So not only as the teacher, as the trainer, as the coach, we are a mirror. We're essentially holding up a mirror for clients to see aspects of themselves, whether they like it or not, aspects of their unconscious. They are also a mirror for us. So whoever's in the coaching role, whoever's in the teaching role, students are the ultimate teachers. So I've learned more about myself through all of my students and my coaching clients than I have through many other things. They are my ultimate teachers because they are also holding up mirrors. They're holding up a mirror and showing me how much I have progressed and evolved over the years. Perhaps I have a client that comes in with something that I overcame in the past. For example, panic attacks. I work with a lot of clients that had anxiety, and it was really interesting to be from that other position of having moved through that and being able to help and support and guide them through that, through my own experience, like being able to offer a little bit more care and understanding to them because I've been through what they've been through. And sometimes clients will come up with something that you're not aware of. You're not aware of that, and they come in with an issue, and then suddenly you think, oh, I have this also. So if that's the case, it's a important thing to really work on that as soon as possible, because you don't want to project your stuff onto the client. One thing that I never really understood and fully in the very beginning is actually such a huge amount of my work as a teacher, as a coach, is actually spent behind the scenes, is not actually doing the coaching work. So when you're working for yourself, unless you have a team of people and you're at that place where you can have a massive team of people, you will actually do a lot of the roles yourself. So whether that's the web design, the marketing, the admin, the finances, all these different aspects, a huge amount of time, probably about 80% of your time will be, or more, will be spent doing all those other things. And then the last percentage will actually be spent coaching. Now, as this grows and develops, that can change. You can bring on more people to help. I have a wonderful audio editor for this podcast that helps me, so I have one less thing to do. And that's a massive help. And yeah, but this is something that's often not talked about, is that actually when you're coaching, when you're teaching, a huge amount is actually of the work is actually behind the scenes and not actually working with the students or with the people. Now, one of the most important things is allowing your work to grow and evolve as you grow and evolve. When I first started out, I remember being so obsessed with my website, wanting everything to be perfect. And then just a year later, I changed it all. My business cards have changed in the last 10 years. I've changed them like many times. I've lost count. The website has changed and evolved many times. And what I work in, like what the content and the actual services that I'm offering has changed hugely also, especially in the last 3 years when Creating Change was born. So it's okay to have those changes. You're not deciding on a job. If you want to go into coaching, you're not deciding on a job to do that 100% all the time, like that forever for the rest of your life. Now, if it happens that way and you're happy with that, great. Though one of the biggest things in this industry, if you want to be the best coach, the best teacher, you need to actually do the work yourself also. You need to walk the talk. And by doing that, your work will continue to grow and evolve. You'll continue to deepen your understanding about yourself and about the work that you offer and about life and others. And the deeper you go, the deeper you can take your clients also. So if you're only focused on the same thing all the time, surface level, you won't be able to take your clients to further depths. Whereas if you go into your own internal, personal awareness journey yourself and really uncover layers from your own shadow and do the internal work yourself, you'll be able to offer your clients so much more depth. And this is something that's so important. The inner work is by far one of the most important aspects in being a teacher, in being a coach. It's been through some of my toughest, biggest, most difficult challenges that I've worked through, working through some deep, dark shadows within my unconscious, that I've been able to have some massive breakthroughs and really have some wonderful creative ideas come up that have influenced my work in a massive way. Creating Change, the training that I have, wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me actually going through deep hurt and rejection and working through that many years ago. So, of course, there are many, many more things. And all of the things that I've mentioned doesn't only have to apply to the coaching world. It can apply to any other service-based work that you may be involved in. And that, of course, there are many, many, many more things that I can't fit it all into this bite-sized episode. Though those are a couple of things that I've noticed that have been great insights on this journey. And I just thought I'd share some of those so you have a little insight into what goes on behind the scenes, what's involved in being a coach and being a trainer. And if it's something that you're interested in doing, then do get in contact. I am currently pausing NLP practitioner trainings, though I do have some wonderful contacts that are offering trainings at the moment. So you can get in contact, info@emmabradford.net for that. And if you want to dive into your own personal awareness journey and really start learning more about yourself, why you do what you do, and really learning to love yourself even more, then also get in contact. There are many, many different ways that you can dive into that a little bit deeper, either just through these podcast episodes, or I have one-on-one sessions. I also do numerology readings as well, which can give us a wonderful insight into what the soul wants and what your mission is in this particular human life that you're in. And also Creating Change, the training, whenever that is released again, that will come soon. That's also an option to dive into all of that using dance, creativity, and insight. So thank you for listening. I wish you a wonderful day and sending you so much love. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, beautiful. You're amazing. All resources and links can be found on my website, www.emmabradford.net. Link is in the show description. Do come and join my community and share your takeaways from this episode. I'd really love to hear. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, I wonder, what magic will you experience in life today?